Let's dive right into our newspaper review today, and we're going to start with the Weekend Trust, as always. And boldly written is Katsina, peace deals without peace. Chamaka, this is such a very interesting one, if you ask me, because we have had cases, we've seen reports about the peace deals with most of the local government areas in Katsina State having peace deals with these bandits, and there's still no peace in Katsina. What do you have to say about this?
Well, I guess that the reason behind the peace deals was, of course, to have peace. And now that it's not happening, I'm looking to see what the government or the local government will intend to do. Of course, the government will always tout. We don't, what's that word again? We don't negotiate with terrorists, right? But
they are not to be trusted.
Well, but
how would you trust a terrorist to give you peace?
But apparently, you can see that this isn't working. So my question now to the government and the people involved is, what next? What are we going to do to safeguard the lives of the people? And most importantly, why are the communities having to go into peace deals with these people, with this non-state actors who seemingly don't want them to live their best life, to be able to be productive to themselves and to the state too? So what can be done really? Because away from them going to have these meetings with these people and sitting down and having these conversations, what can be done? The government's job is to protect lives and properties of a citizenry who pay taxes and levies to it. So what can be done away from the peace deals?
The Katsina State governor came out and said he is not in support of the peace deals with the bandits, but still some local government areas do not have a choice than to do this, because they feel that's the only way.
That's what we're saying.
To have peace in their community.
If you can't keep me safe and I have to find a way to keep myself safe, and then it's not worked out, you have to give me a reason not to toll a certain path. My life and my livelihood is in your hands, really. So what have you done to make me feel safe?
And I have to do what they have to do.
Do you understand? So, in as much as the government doesn't, and I'm in agreement with that, we don't negotiate or shouldn't negotiate with terrorists, whatever it is that is being touted or being said. What is the government in all these other communities, away from Katsina, in other places too? These peace deals are there. Sometimes, they don't pull through. What can be done?
That's it. That's the big question, actually. Well, you can find this story in page 4 of the Weekend Trust. Moving on to the next headline is how Nigerians lose fortunes to online scams. This is right in page 10. And honestly, we have seen cases of people, people are still falling prey to those online scams in Nigeria.
Oh, well, my first take most times is, it's a 5-letter word, greed.
Greed, yes.
Yes, it. And I don't. I'm not going to say that maybe I don't know people who have had to do this and who actually benefited from it.
Sometimes these online scammers are really smart.
But the thing about it is they reel you in with the first promise of, oh, you do this, you get this, and it probably will work the first time, and then when you do it subsequently, it no longer works, and then you're now crying and all that. Now, is it possible to make money, quick money, legitimately? Probably, most likely, if you're into crypto and forex and all that, you understand. But for someone to tell you bring 5 naira, I'll give you 20 naira and all that, I think first of all, it sounds funny, it sounds weird. Even planting, agriculture has times and seasons. You don't put a seed of maize in the ground now and expect to reap a whole stock.
Money just like that.
Yes, by tomorrow.
Well, according to this report by the Weekend Trust, they highlighted most of the reason why Nigerians fall prey. And, when they were writing down the report, as I can see written here, is most of them now, because now it's been, people are very,
trying to make ends meet.
Exactly, and people are aware of the scams. Most people are actually aware of the scams right now. So now they have moved to a business vendor. You see somebody opening a fake page on Instagram or WhatsApp, one of the social media pages, and put on goods.
And that kind of scam.
Buy this. They will put a very, very juicy price, very cheap price, and they're like, okay, maybe they put a car that is, that car is like a 5 million. They'll put it like you can buy it for 1.5 million, and we're very legit. And when you give them their money, they just delete you.
We're still saying the same thing. It boils down to greed, because if you know that a car is 5 million naira in good condition, 5 million naira, and then you see the same car in good condition at 1.5 from someone you never bought before, you don't know their pedigree, you have nothing about them, and you actually go to buy the car,
Yeah. Like Ahmed Idris, that is written here in the story, he wanted to buy goats for, I think, 3 goats for 160,000, and they scammed him.
Well,
After buying the goods, the scammer said he should send half of the money, and which he did. That if they delivered the goat for him, he's going to pay the rest, and he didn't get his money, no page. They disappeared.
Okay, so I think at this time, maybe we need to make an appeal to those people. You're making businesses bad for people who do digital marketing,
Exactly.
digital businesses online, genuine people. And now all this, oh, I will not pay if you don't deliver. All these things are beginning to come up. And it's now difficult. And then even away from the people selling, even the business owners themselves at times are being scammed because it happens. So they actually deliver to you in good faith. And then next thing, your page, you're gone, they can't contact you, they don't get money for their products. All these things are happening. So the scam, I think, even goes both ways, really.
Honestly, it does. And like you said, it's really not helping people that are in good businesses online, because personally, I don't like buying things online, because I have seen and have had cases of these online scams, and not like I've been a victim, but I was just trying to be careful, and it spoils the other businesses.
Yes, actually it does.
Like I mentioned, you can find the story in page 10 of the Weekend Trust. Moving ahead is bandits kill 16 vigilantes, kidnap 42 in Niger. These insecurity issues, honestly, Chiamaka, should have been the thing of the past. For years, this is what you always see in reports. When you're reading news, this is what you always see in the news. You always see people, like journalists, talking about it every day in TV, radios, and what have you. And it's just so tiring sometimes, because you keep seeing there's insecurity issues. What can really be done to eradicate insecurity in Nigeria?
Well, that's the question for our newly appointed service chiefs to answer. They've given us their, mandates. They've promised us they're going to do a lot. And, a few days after that, we kept seeing this operation, that has flushed out this, flushed out that. Hopefully, the flushing out is, whole, and these people are, taking off. Now, away from just, this, oftentimes, as you said, when you keep seeing this in the news, and I hate to say it, but we've become numb to these stories. It's like we're expecting some of them to come up at times. Oh, bandits, this. And we don't, there's no more, outcries and, people saying, what's happening? The only reason that maybe people did an outcry was that speech from President Trump of the United States that made people say, oh, there's something happening and all that. Over time, we become, oh, something happened. But these are lives of our fellow brothers and sisters here in Nigeria, every day being taken by some non-state actors who have decided that we will not live in peace and not live a happy life.
It's just so disheartening, if you ask me. Well, this is right in page 16 of the Weekend Trust. Refuse defaces nation's capital. This is right in page 13. This is, there are heaps of refuse in Abuja. You find it on the streets. You find refuse dumps everywhere right now. I don't know. Sometimes on the streets, sometimes in the market, sometimes in the culvert. You don't sweep it. I don't even know how to, put it. But right now, refugees are almost everywhere in the nation's capital.
You're going too far. Just around the office here, I was passing yesterday, and you could see it just before the Jabi garage. And I asked myself this question: who started it first? And nobody did anything about it. And now it's so piled up. It's like a landfill. That's what it looks like to me, as far as I'm concerned.
It's an eyesore.
Yes, actually. It's a mess, and it's even spilling onto the road. Now, someone was telling me that during the rainy season, due to that whole thing, there was flooding. Now,
exactly.
Again, one of the things, because we started all these levies you pay. You see some of these guys on the road with their shirts, wearing uniform, running after cars and asking them to pay certain things and blah, blah, blah. And I want to believe that a clean country or a clean city is one of the things that those levies should give us, whether it's for something else, you understand? So while we're doing our taxations and all that, let's make the community bearable, livable for the people that actually paying these taxes.
When you're passing by, sometimes you feel that you perceive this smell.
This stench.
Exactly.
It can throw you off.
Yes. You perceive this disturbing smell that can make you start thinking and what is really happening. Why is this place a very fine place?
You fear that the stench will
when you look
probably stay
at
on
your
your
side,
clothes.
you see refuse dumps right on the streets, sometimes it even enters the road. So it's really, I think environmental people should really do something about it.
About your Environmental Protection Board, yes, should actually do something about it.
Well, this is right in page 13. Amidst conflicting judgments, 3,000 delegates for PDP convention today. This is right in page 34. There's the whole chaos surrounding PDP convention, the court's order, and them saying no, they have to carry out the convention today. Yesterday, they were really trying to arrange everything in the stadium in Ibadan, and we had that another court order still restrained them from doing the convention today.
Well, it's a political matter, and first of all, I wonder what the PDP wants to do, what the plan is, since there's still so much division inside the party. So when they have this convention, and which faction is this going to be? Which faction is going to lead the party? Is this the faction that will take them to make them become the opposition? Because I think they've lost the title of that, though. But yes, how are they going to go into 2027 with this so much disruption inside the party?
Yeah.
So I don't know about these court orders, but I think the people of the People's Democratic Party, who had this country for like 16 years, should do whatever they can to come back to the table and be a party again.
Yeah, that's it. This headline is right. The story is right in page 34 of the Weekend Trust, and that is the much that there is in the Weekend Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, now we'll be going over to the Guardian Weekend, and you can see quite a lot of stories there. But again, the top story there is still about the PDP. Complex deals that frustrate opposition parties' revival. That's one of the things that is happening or showing there, and you can find that equally on page 10 of the paper. It's titled Contentious PDP Convention, Complex Deals That Frustrate Opposition Parties Revival. That's one of the stories there. Now, away from that, we are looking at other stories there. Campaign Against Hunger unites farmers, other stakeholders, and it's a special feature for the Weekend Guardian. That's from pages 8 to 9. A few days ago, we had these stories where we talked about hunger crisis on the news. Hopefully, we should understand that food security is a major problem we have in Nigeria, and these issues can be resolved. Now, the NPA has something to say on page 3. Worry, cocoa pots, revitalization will boost national equity, economic inclusion. Yes, we'll be talking about having more ports away from Lagos and Apapa, having other ports begin to work and actually decongest and maybe make business and the Nigerian economy thrive better. That's one of the things we're talking about on our other program on the station. Now, NDLEA strengthens maritime operations as Tinubu reappoints Marwa for second tenure. Well, since he joined as the NDLEA DG, we've been seeing quite a lot of jobs, a lot of raids, and a lot of things happening in that sector. And I believe it's a good thing having him again over there. And now on one of the other stories we will take there, the last one is the federal government targets 4.8 trillion naira gain from health sector renewal investment initiative. Yes, away from the gains that would happen, away from what they would gain. The lives of Nigerian citizens are very, very, very important, Miriam. I think that this is a very good initiative from the government, and that we see that it equally helps better the life of the people in the long run.
All right, that's it. And now to the Saturday Punch. Convention, 4 PDP governors storm Ibadan as INEC signals boycott. Lamido blames governors. Wike, Bode George clash over court ruling. State delegates arrive venue. The state delegates arrive venue. Well, I believe Trust TV are really monitoring this convention issue, and fingers crossed, let's see what's going to happen. This is right in page 4 of the Saturday Punch. How life abroad humbled me, Omotola Akainde. This is right in page 16. Abuja face-off. Wike's allies, military veterans differ over calls for sanctions. This is right in page 4 of the Saturday Punch, and there's no this is the much that there is in the Saturday Punch this morning.
Okay, now let's go to Saturday Vanguard and see what's happening there. That would be in the economy, exports disagree with the federal government on performance. That's what is written there. That's the big story there. You can find it on page 10. experts disagree with federal government on performance. Now, still on the issue that happened earlier in the week, Wike versus Yerima.
That issue was everywhere.
Oh yes, it was, and so many memes came out of it. Now, the story there,
right? that was a very funny one.
The story there was Tinubu intervenes. Peace returns to Abuja disputed land. So President Tinubu actually had to come into the matter so that that issue would be disputed. So that's, you can find that story if you want to know more on it on page 34 of the Saturday Vanguard. Now, of course, again, you know, all of the stories there we can see is equally the ones we've taken before from other dailies. That's the PDP convention and the blue economy, and of course Tinubu reappointing Buba Marawa as the NDLEA boss. Now, for those of you who are pensioners, the federal government has cleared 3.9 billion naira pension backlog. That is found on page 8 of the Saturday Vanguard.
Well, now to Saturday Tribune. All set for PDP National Convention. Delegates arrived from 36 states. FCT, Abuja Court access convention. Ibadan Court gives go-ahead. Security beefed up at venue. Like I mentioned, there's lots of chaos surrounding this PDP convention today. But let's see what happens later in the day. This is right in page 4 of the Tribune. Genocide. Plateau cleric tackles Sheikh Gumi, says we are ready to open graves for inspection. I'm tired of mass burials. Threatens lawsuit. Chiamaka, you know, Sheikh Gumi was here last week.
You had him.
Yes, exactly. And he mentioned something like convincing the terrorists. You know, he mentioned something like the terrorists should be appeased or convinced to stop terrorism, and he said he refutes that claim that there was no Christian genocide, and that has sparked lots of, you know, talks and debates in the nation recently. That was last week, and now the cleric is saying they're ready to open up graves, the graves for inspection, the Christian graves for inspection, to actually, you know, convince Gumi that there was actually a Christian genocide in Nigeria.
Well, I'm being very careful to say
it's a religious
okay,
issue,
you know,
very sensitive.
yes, very, very sensitive into religious issues, like, you know. But are there killings in the country? Yes. Both sides of the divide in religion, and even major faith, which is maybe Christian and and Muslims.
That's it.
You know, are they still casualties in this war? Yes. You know, and I don't think it's safe to make light of people's story.
Yeah, that's it. Well, the story is right in page 3 of the Tribune. Southwest Muslims reject Trump's genocide claim. This is right in page 5. NPA shifts focus to Warri. Cocoa Pots to ease Lagos congestion. This is right in page 5. Adeleke hosts Chinese investors, says Ocean Free Trade Zone is open for business. Right in page 6 of the Tribune. Wike versus naval officer. FCTA clarifies status of land. This is very interesting. Yes. It's going to be an interesting read. Well, yes. You can find it in page 7. Obiano, ex-Anambra governor, not dead, says ex-commissioner. There's rumors that he was dead just yesterday, and they just clarified it. You can find this in page 6 of the Tribune. That is the much that there is in the Tribune newspaper this morning. Well, and that is all we have for the newspaper and reviews this morning. You can grab yourself a copy, you know, to keep you busy throughout this weekend.